Review. All right. Okay. Okay, wait, let's fix this. There we go. Now it looks prettier. So, chat, what we are going to do now is we are going to do a full arena review for the new expansion, Saviors of Uldum. All of the ratings are going to be for arena only. So, if you're looking for constructed ratings, you got to go somewhere else for that. We're doing a scale of 1 to 5, with 3 being average. That's just what we're doing. Don't question it. And it'll be going in order of classes. I think that's how this album is set up. So we'll start here with Druid, go through each class separately, and then we'll go into the neutrals. Okay? All right. Should we do it? Let's do it. Let me actually update the title. Arena card review. Already scuffed. The review's already scuffed, chat. Already scuffed. Already a mess. And now I can't update my title. Oh my god. Why are we even here? Thank you, J-Rock. I don't have any notifications on here, but thank you. Okay. Okay. Alright, we're good. We're good. But thank you. Thanks, J-Rock. Welcome Shupin, Injo, Crafty Fix, DWJH, and Fermented Crabs. Okay. Now we're going to focus. Welcome to the Saviors of Uldum Arena card review. Let's get it going. You guys can Pepe Star in the chat to follow along, okay? First card is Worthy Expedition. 1 mana, discover a choose 1 card. So with this card, we're getting the other card back into the meta, where you have an option to choose a spell or a druid minion. So kind of a similar card. How good are the choose 1 cards? Choose 1 cards are better than a normal card, I would say. Like on average, a choose 1 card would be better. So you're discovering from a slightly higher pool of cards or higher tier of cards. So I think it's pretty solid. Kind of reminds me a little bit of a Hallucinate card. I would say this one is like a 3.5. Boom. 3.5. I'm trying to remember how I did this last time. Did I delete it after each card? Maybe I did. Yeah. Okay, I probably should do something like this. I don't know. I'm trying to remember the best way to do it. We're just going to leave it for now. This is just better for flow. Okay, the next card is Bees. 3 mana. Choose a minion, summon 4 1/1 bees that attack it. So obviously people have talked about a lot of the combos that are capable with the Bees card, with like Line Cracker and stuff, but I don't think that will happen all that much in Arena. It's still quite a strong card, because you're going to get 4 1/1s for 3 mana. Should be good for removing something. As far as I understand, if you use 3 of the bees to kill something, and then 1 bee will be left over at the end if it kills a 3 health creature. I think that's correct, right? So I think this card is quite good. I would say it's somewhere between 3.5 and 4, but we'll just keep it at 3.5 because it's pretty. We just did 3.5. So, you know. Ooh, there's the bee. Wow. Look at that bee. Pretty. Okay. Oasis Surger. 5 mana, 3/3 elemental. Rush, choose 1. Gain +2/+2 or summon a copy of this minion. I like this card a lot. Rush cards are really strong in Arena, and it's a flexible rush card because you can either make it a 5/5 to go into, a 4/4, or you can use it as 2 3/3s to kill, I could say 2 2/3s or something. So I think this card is quite strong. I'm going to say a 4. Good. Very good. Focused Burst. Okay, this is just showing you the options. Gain +2/2, or summon a copy of this minion, right? Garden Gnome. 4 mana, 2/3 Battlecry. If you're holding a spell that costs 5 or more, summon 2 2/2 Tree Ants. If you don't have a spell, it's awful, right? If you don't have a 5-cost or more spell. So therefore, it can't be that good, because the chances you have in your hand, just from past cards like this, it's not going to trigger all that often. So it's definitely below average. I would say, like, between 1.5 and 2. Let's go with the lower side. These cards, like, never work. I'm going to go with 1.5. No faith. Zero faith, chat. Zero. Treant. Okay. Hidden Oasis. 6 mana. Choose one. Summon a 6/6 Ancient with Taunt or restore 12 health. So the vast majority of the time, this is just going to be a 6 mana 6/6 Taunt, which isn't that bad, right? The restore health thing, it doesn't... Very rarely will you be using it for that in Arena. I mean, maybe the fact that it has that as an option to save you is interesting, but it's not going to be used much. Like, generally, a 6/6 taunt will do more for you, even if you're dying. So it's a very average card. I think 3 is probably fair for this one. 3. You know, just very average. There's the taunt. Yep. Okay, those are just what the options look like. Overflow. 7 mana. 7 mana. It's so expensive. Restore 5 health to all characters. Draw 5 cards. I was thinking about this card, and initially I didn't think it was that bad. The more I think about it, the more terrible I think this card is. Because that's just... It doesn't do enough for 7 mana. Like, that's a lot of cards, but you're going to need to be, like, dominating the board to be able to drop this. Like, the ideal scenario for Overflow is you have a bunch of damage minions on your board, and then you're going to be able to play this, heal up your board, and draw a bunch of cards. But that's rarely the case in Arena. Like, generally, you'll need it to dig, or just for a bunch of... to find a bunch more value. But if you do that, and you pass your turn, that's really bad. So I think in Constructed, it could be, you know, it could be a thing, but... in Arena, I think it's bad. I'm going to go with a 2. I think this card is not good. And I think some people think it should be higher than that, but I don't know. I don't like it. Okay. Crystal Merchant. 2 mana, 1/4. If you have any unspent mana at the end of your turn, draw a card. 2 mana, 1/4. So this is... It kind of reminds me of Mana Tide, right? Like... it's understated, but it's not that hard in, like, the mid to late game to be floating 1 mana, especially if it's a bit of a slower meta. You don't really want to be dropping as a 2-drop, but you know, 2 mana 1/4 can sometimes do something. I'm gonna say it's actually slightly above average because it's gonna be a slower meta. I would go with 3.25, but I don't want to make it that crazy. I'm going to go with 3.5. I believe. All right. Anubisath Defender. 5 mana, 3/5. Taunt costs 0 if you've cast a spell that costs 5 or more this turn. So in the worst case scenario, you play a 5 mana, 3/5 Taunt. Which is pretty bad, but... Sometimes you'll just play a Sinjin on turn 5, and it's not the end of the world. And if it does proc, it's quite good. So, like, unlike the other card we reviewed, where if it doesn't proc, you're paying a 4 mana 2/3. A 5 mana 3/5 taunt isn't the end of the world. So, I think this card's okay. I'm gonna say 3. Yeah. Elise the Enlightened. 5 mana, 5/5. Battlecry. If your deck has no duplicates, duplicate your hand. Yeah. So again, for Arena, you'd have to build a Highlander deck for this to work. It's not terrible, because even if you don't have a deck with no duplicates, it's still a 5 mana, 5/5, which isn't the end of the world, right? I don't think I would take this card, though, like, early and try to build a deck around it. But it depends, again, it depends on what bucket Elise is in. Because it's not Like, it doesn't affect the board immediately when you play it either. So, I would say this card is like a 3.5. I don't know, guys. Maybe it's a 4. 4? I mean, it's a lot of value. Let's go with 4. Okay, we'll believe. A little bit believe. 4. 4.0. Definitely, that might be slightly on the high side, but, you know, the thing about this card is you could take it in a deck with, like, 1 to 2 duplicates, and by the time you want to play it, there's a chance that you'll have gone through the duplicates, so I don't think it... And a 5 and a 5 isn't the worst. All right. Untapped potential. We're not going to talk about the quests, okay? Just to save ourselves time. So for anyone who doesn't know, the quests are not an arena. They made that decision a while ago, so we don't need to worry about them. On to Hunter. Damn, we already crushed Druid? Easy. Pressure Plate. 2 mana secret. After your opponent casts a spell, destroy a random enemy minion. If your opponent casts a spell, destroy a random enemy minion. It's a very odd secret. Like, what a weird set of circumstances for it, right? Like, if you know to play around it, like, I don't think it'll be that great. But if you're in a position where you can't really play around it, it has pretty insane upside. I would say this is a 3. I think 3 is fair. It's an okay card. Desert Spear. 3 mana 1/3 weapon. After your hero attacks, summon a 1/1 Locust with Rush. So it's like a Light's Justice weapon. You pay 2 more mana, and you get... And the Locusts are beasts. So it's kind of like a mini Piranha Launcher, right? Piranha Launcher was pretty damn good. I think it's good. I'm going to say this is a 4. Like, not insane, but good. Yeah, oh yeah, there it is, the beast. Okay. Hunter's Pack. 3 mana, add a random hunter beast, or random hunter beast secret and weapon to your hand. Man, so this card, it does do something that Hunter kind of struggles with traditionally, like getting refill. And it's also targeted refill. So I would say a secret is not oftentimes what you want, but it's not oftentimes what you want, but the random hunter beast and weapon is insane. So 3 mana for those 3 things, it's got to be really high rating. I would say like 4.5. Yeah, that's a good point. I'll start here. So the thing is, it's a little bit hard if I hide it. Like, because when do I hide it, right? So I can do it like this. Yeah, maybe that's the best way. And then I'll do this, and then we'll adjust it. Whoa, that's not the right thing to hide. Technology, Monk S. So then we'll go to the next one, and then we'll do it like this. Okay, sure. That's probably a better way to do it. Make it a little bit easier to see. Ramkahin Wild Tamer. 3 mana, 4/3. Battlecry, copy a random beast in your hand. So it's got decent stats. A 3 mana, 4/3 is fine. And, you know, it's pretty good upside. So generally cards that are well statted on their own and then have some upside are quite good. I think this card is probably about a 4. Because in Hunter, there's a good chance you will have a... There is a good chance you will have a beast in your hand at the time you play it, right? Yep. Okay. Hyena Alpha. 4 mana, 2/3. Battlecry, if you control a secret, summon 2 2/2 hyenas. So worst case, you're playing a 4 mana 3/3 with the beast tag. If it procs, it's insane, right? But how often is it going to proc? Probably not all that often. At least I don't tend to draft a lot of Hunter Secrets. Because it's just... And if you play an earlier turn and they proc it, then it's like, So... I'm going to go with a 2.5. Because there's definitely upside, and depending on how many secrets you get, it might be worth it to take the risk. But on average, it's going to be bad, right? So it's a below average rating. All right. Swarm of Locusts. 6 mana, summon 7 1/1 Locusts with Rush. With Rush? Maybe if they had Charge, right, chat? Rush? What am I supposed to do with Rush? Trade? I'm playing Hunter. What is this crap? I just look at it compared to Unleash the Hounds, and I'm like, I don't want that thing. Okay, but how good or bad is it? It doesn't let you make a lot of trades on the board. I don't know. I'm not convinced. Maybe in certain types of Hunter it would be quite good, but not in Dread's Hunter. It's probably above... I don't even know if it's above average. I'm not a big fan of this card. I'm going to go with... Maybe it's slightly above average. Okay, let's go with 3.5. Slightly above average. I don't think it's a 4, though. I think it's between a 3 and a 3.5. I'm not sold. We're in a meta that has Scorcher, right? Like, if you just have to play that for tempo and then it gets scorched, then you guys are going to be like, feels bad, man. Right? Right. Right. Scarlet Webweaver. 6 mana, 5/5. Battlecry. Reduce the cost of a random beast in your hand by 5. Damn, 5 is a big reduction. Yeah, it's a little bit understated. But you could hit this on some pretty nasty stuff. Like, you hit on a high main and you play turn 7 Scarlet Webweaver and a high main. Obviously, that's an insane high roll, but... Yeah. And even if you... Let's just say you hit, like, a River Croc. And then you play a 5/5 and a 2/3 on 6. That's also pretty good. I like it. I think it's a good card. I'm gonna go with let's go with a 4. I think 4 is fair. Because sometimes you'll just have to tempo it as a 6 mana 5/5, and that's not very good. But Wild Blood Stinger, Battlecry, or 6 mana 6/9. Nice. Okay. Battlecry, summon a minion from your opponent's hand and attack it. Not in this meta. I'm not playing this in this meta. Like, there's too many Basilisks, there's too many Gastropods, Wasp. Even if it hits like a 5/5, it's pretty bad. I'm not a fan. So I would say this is like a 2. If your opponent happens to have an empty hand, then it's insane, right? So there's some situations where it could do something, but I don't anticipate a meta where your opponent is out of cards a lot. Okay. Dino Tamer Bran. 7 mana 2/4. Battlecry, if your deck has no duplicates, summon King Crush. So with any of these type of cards, you have to think about, okay, if I'm early in a draft, would I go for this, right? Like, if I get offered it early, don't have duplicates, would I go for it? And the answer is absolutely you would, right? I think you try for this card. 7 mana for 2/4 and King Crush, which is insane. No, you guys don't think we would? I'd go for it. Is that just because I'm a streamer? I would do it. I'd believe. 2/4 and a Crush for 7? Yeah, of course it depends on the bucket. And it's a legendary, you won't be seeing it that often. But just looking at this card, it's good. It's very good. I would believe, I'm rating it a 4. Because I would believe, and I would draft the deck around it, and boom, we'd go 12. Okay? Oh, we're not doing quests. Skip the quests. Ancient Mysteries, on to mage stuff. 2 mana, draw a secret from your deck. It costs 0. So again, I traditionally don't draft a lot of secrets. Because I don't know. I feel like they're oftentimes up against better cards. There are pretty good secrets coming back, like we get Explosive Runes coming back. But the problem with this card is if you draw your secrets, it's like, it's dead. All right? Even if you draft like 1 or 2 and you draw them, then it's a dead card. And even if you hit it in Arena, it's only a 1 mana reduction. So the idea for this card is, I think, more for Constructed, where you can draw a secret and then hold it as 0 mana to play with the combo cards that they introduced for Mage, which we'll talk about in a second. So I really dislike it in Arena. I'm gonna go with a 1.5. I'm not drafting it. Okay. Flame Ward. 3 mana, another secret. After a minion attacks your hero, deal 3 damage to all enemy minions. Damn, this card will make, like... It's just an annoying card, because it will make going face against Mage, which oftentimes is what you want to do at some point, really problematic. Because if it does end up to be that, and it wipes your board... Like, it's also a secret where you could kind of try to debate people with it, right? Just, like, the threat of it is very annoying. I think it's an above average secret, definitely. Probably slightly above average card. I'm going to go with a 3. It's between a 3 and a 3.5. We'll go 3.5. Why not? Dream big. Yeah. All right. Cloud Prince. 5 mana, 4/4. Battlecry. If you control a secret, deal 6 damage. So again, kind of the idea here is, let's say you use the 2-cost card, pull a secret, that costs 0 now. Then you can equip that and then play this for 6 damage and a 4/4 on turn 5. Which in the ideal world is insane. Even... Again, so this card, it's hard to evaluate these cards because you just don't know how many secrets you're going to get. Because obviously, if you do go for the memes and get the secrets, this card's nutty if you have like 4 secrets or something. But I think the chances of it going off is a little bit too low. Because realistically, to have it reliably go off, you're going to have to wait till turn 8 and then play a secret and then do it immediately. Because otherwise, there's a good chance the secret will proc before you can drop it, right? So I think it's probably a little below average. I'm going to go with a 2.5. Whoops. I'm going to go with a 2.5. In Constructed, it could be insane. In Arena, I'm just not so sure. All right. Arcane Flak Mage. 2 mana, 3/2. After you play a secret, deal 2 damage to all enemy minions. So this one is a lot better than the previous card because it's easier to play with secrets in the same turn. You can do it on turn 5. And it's got better stats on its own because it's already a 2 mana, 3/2, which is fine for a 2-drop. So even if you don't have any synergy with it, it's still okay, right? And man, if you hit the synergy... That's disgusting. Volcanic Potion, like one-sided Volcanic Potion. I'm going to go with a 4. I'm going to go with a 4. And, yeah. Just it's flexible. Because even without the secret, it's okay. It's alright. Alrighty. Dune Sculptor. 3 mana, 3/3. After you cast a spell, add a random mage min to your hand. We talked about this one a little bit the other day in chat, and see, for me, the fact that it's a 3/3 hurts it a lot because I want to be playing 3/4s or 4/3s on curve, and obviously the idea is this is a card you're going to hold in hand, and be able to pull off like a combo with it. So how good is a 3 mana 3/3 with upside? It's not super understated. So I'm going to say this is like a 3. I don't know, guys. These cards where it's like, because if you look at this card, just think about like Mana Cyclone, right? Like, how good is Mana Cyclone in Arena? You almost never take it. Like, in the bucket that it's in. And it is in a pretty decent bucket, but you almost never take it. And so, obviously, that has to be on that turn, so it's not as much of a threat going on, but I'm not convinced. Not convinced. All right, Naga Sandwich. Sandwich. 5 mana, 5/5. Battlecry. Change the cost of spells in your hand to 5. Change the cost of spells in your hand to 5. The problem with this card is it could be both a good thing and a bad thing, right? Like, if you have cheap spells and you turn them into costing 5, like a Frostbolt or something, that's pretty bad. And, but you could hit a Flame Strike or something, right? Which would be insane, or even a Blizzard. So I think it's an average card because the stats are okay. Like, generally, the effect won't do much, so we'll just leave it at a 3. Seems okay. It's like 2.5 to 3, I would say. Tortolan Pilgrim. Oops. Tortolan Pilgrim. 8 mana, 5/5. Battlecry. Discover a copy of a spell in your deck and cast it with random targets. So if you guys remember the other Tortolan card, that just, you discovered a random spell, right? So it wasn't like, this one is pulled, or discover a copy from your deck. So you have a better idea of what you're going to get with this card. And obviously, if you get with like Flame Strike, Blizzard, things that only hit your opponent's board, or Frost Nova or something, then it'd be very good. But if you hit like a Fireball or Poly, then it's like you're gambling on it. But the other turtle was pretty solid, so I think this card will also be pretty good. Depends a lot on the draft, but I think it's decent. It's between like a 3.5 and a 4. I'm going to go with a 3.5. Puzzle Box of Yogg Saron. Cast 10 random spells, targets chosen randomly. No, it's too expensive, chat. Like, you guys probably are like, best card ever! 5 stars! Yeah! Woo! You're basically putting your faith in this doing something crazy on the turn. 10, because it's your whole turn. 10 spells is a lot, and it will make for some great moments, but it's not a good card. It's definitely not a good card. I would say, how bad is it? I would say this is like a 1.5. The truth is, the spells are more likely to help you than hurt you. That's just the nature of spells. But even if it does slightly help you, it's your whole turn. So, I don't like it. That'll be... We'll save that one for chat drafts. Okay. Reno, the Relicologist. 6 mana, 4/6. If your deck has no duplicates, deal 10 damage, randomly split among all enemy minions. So it doesn't go face, and you'd have to have no dupes. I don't know, man. I'm not convinced that it's worth handicapping your deck for this. If you don't have to handicap it too much, it's obviously insane. A 4/6 deal 10 to the board is really good, but I don't know. I'm just not convinced that it's worth it, because that's really what you have to ask yourself with these cards. So I'm gonna say it's like I'm gonna go on the low side for this one. I'm gonna go with 2.5. I just don't see it. Like with Kazakus or something, it's worth it, right? Or we'll get to the other insane card where the 2-drop. But this one, I just don't see it. I don't see it. Okay. Raid the Sky Temple. We're not doing that. Nope. Sand Wasp Queen. 2 mana, 3/1. Battlecry, add 2/2/1 sand wasps to your hand. What do they cost? 1? 2 mana for a 3/1. I don't mind it. I really don't mind it. It creates spread for Paladin, and 1 mana for 2/1s is pretty good. So you can basically pay, if you want to play it on turn 4, let's say, you get a 3/1 and 2/2/1s for 4 mana. That's a lot of stats. You get Scorched, obviously. Like, Scorcher is going to be very... Seems like Scorcher is just going to be insane in this rotation. I think this is quite good. I'm going to say, like, 3.5. Maybe even higher. You know what? Let's go 4. I like this card. Let's go 4. It reminds me a lot of Acorn Bear. It's a little bit understated, though, on turn 2. But then you get 1 mana 2/1s, which are better than 1 mana 1/1s. That's some quick math there. I really like it. I think it's good. Okay. Subdue. 2 mana. We're into Paladin, by the way. That's a Paladin card. Just so everyone knows where we're at. Paladonger. Subdue. 2 mana. Set a minion's attack and health to 1. So Paladin gets another, another minion neutralization effect. It's basically 2 mana. It's not entirely an assassinate, but it's really, really good. I would say this one is like 4 to 4.5. I'll go with 4. I don't think it's quite 4.5, but it's definitely up there. Very, very, very good. Okay. Ancestral Guardian. 4 mana, 4/2, Lifesteal Reborn. So this is the first Reborn card we've seen. So for anyone who doesn't know, Reborn is a new mechanic that is coming to Saviors of Uldum. What it means is this card, when it dies, will come back to life with 1 health remaining. It won't have the Reborn again, but yeah. So you could read this as a 4/2 Lifesteal minion that spawns a 4/1 lifesteal minion that could be healed up to 4/2. So it does have that, like, health. The health drops. It doesn't come back as a 4/1. Yeah. So I think generally these Reborn cards are quite strong. It's almost... Yeah, we've kind of talked about it as maybe like a reverse Divine Shield effect. And yeah, so how good is a 4/2 that spawns a 4/1? It also has a lifesteal tech. I think this card's quite strong. It reminds me a little bit of the Cthulhu card. That was a 4/2 Divine Shield. That card didn't have lifesteal, though, and the lifesteal can sometimes bail you out. So I like it a lot. I'm going to go with a... Let's just keep it as a 4. Sorry, I already had a 4. Let's keep it as a 4. It's between like 3.5 and 4. Brazen Zealot. 1 mana, 2/1. Whenever you summon a minion, gain +1 attack. So how good is a 2/1 with some upside? It's good. Because it's one of the... It's a 1-drop that you oftentimes will need to just coin ping, right? And that's powerful. Because you really don't want to have to do that in Arena. So I would say it's above average. I don't know how fast the meta is going to be. Like, because there is going to be, quite a bit of AoE in this expansion. I'm not sure how powerful, like, a strong 1-drop is. But I'm going to say this card is a 3.5. Boom. 3.5. A 1-drop that has to be answered. I think it's pretty decent. All right. Saul Het's Pride. 3 mana, 3/1. Death Rattle. Draw 2 1-health minions from your deck. 2 1-health minions. So you're playing a pretty understated minion here. A 3/1/3 to draw 2 1-health minions. But drawing 2 from a 3-drop is pretty good. And it kind of fits into like, because it could draw what Paladin wants to do, right? It could draw, like, this guy. It could draw this guy. So obviously they're adding some cards that are good with it. It's not really something you'd want to drop on 3, but yeah, I think it's okay. Let's go with a 3. It's again, I think this one's kind of between a 3 and a 3.5. If you, the problem also is if you don't have that many 1 health minions, right? Like, yeah, we just saw those ones, but how many 1 health minions are you going to get in a draft on average? I'm not convinced it will be a really high number. All right. Pharaoh's Blessing. The wannabe Spike Ridge Steed. So 6 mana, give a minion +4/+4 Divine Shield and Taunt. It's still pretty damn good though, right? Like, it's not as good as Steed, but it's still pretty damn good because so you're essentially getting a Blessing of Kings and a Divine Shield for 6 mana. And the taunt also could, like, if you're desperate, you could just drop this on a minion on your turn to, like, taunt out the opponent. So it's still pretty good. Like, I would say Steed is like a 5, right? But this card is still very high up there. I would say this is like a 4.5. Like, all of a sudden, you could turn your 1/1 into a 5/5 Divine Shield to make a trade. It's really good. Okay. Micro Mummy. 2 mana, 1/2, reborn. At the end of your turn, give another random friendly minion +1 attack. So, a 2-cost reborn. I think it's pretty good because it's hard to deal with it in 1 turn. And although the buff isn't, insane, like, look at the Swordsmith card. The 1/3. It's way better than that card. And that card's, pretty weak, but this is much more difficult to deal with. So I don't think it's great. I would say it's like a 3 to 3.5. I'll go with a 3.5, but it's somewhere in that range. I don't think it's like a 4. Because a 1/2 doesn't really kill much, right? Okay. Tip the scales. And just, I see people like having questions stuff. After we're done with the review, we can talk. So if you have cards where you disagree with me on or want to talk about more, we'll talk about them at the end, okay? Like, after the review. I can't, like, respond to all of them in chat right now because it will just make this go on for like 8 million hours. So, but remember things that you disagree on, and we'll definitely talk about it after, okay? Tip the scales. 8 mana. Summon 7 Murlocs from your deck. Yeah, that's not going to happen. Like, I believe in certain things happening. This one, I've got, like, no belief in that happening. How am I going to get 7 Murlocs in my deck and then not draw, like, half of them? So, this gets my, I think it's the first one. The first one. Boom. Garbage tier. Super garbage tier. All right. Sir Finley of the Sands. If your deck has no duplicates, discover an upgraded hero power. So at worst, you're playing a 2 mana 2/3, which is fine. If you don't, man, this card's, it's interesting because, like, if you discover the right upgraded hero power, it's really good. All right, again, you have to build a deck somewhat around it, but if you hit, like, Warrior and you just get a bunch of armor, it's kind of, that's how it works, right? It discovers a hero power from, like, it could be any class, correct? Because it's weird because it says discover, but can you get, like, other classes' hero powers, or will it only be, like, a paladin, like you get the 2/1/1s? Could discover warrior, shaman, and priest. Are you sure that's how it works? Yeah, like it could be any 3, right, that you get. Okay. Just warrior, lock, and shaman every time? Wait, really? No. It didn't used to be like that. The old Finley just gave you anything, right? No. Yeah. Okay, no, I'm memeing. Good. Can we ban the person that's memeing, please? We don't have... Memeing isn't allowed on my channel. Yeah. So, depending on what you hit, the thing is you should hit one good one out of 3 options, most likely. So it's definitely really good. At worst, it's a 2 mana 2/3. I would say it's like a 4 to a 4.5. If it procs, it's nutty. Maybe we go up to 4.5. It depends on like how hard it is to build a singleton deck. Whoops, that's not the right thing to click. Let's go with 4.5. Okay, we're not doing that. That's a quest. F quests. If it's not an arena, it doesn't exist to me. Right, chat? Embalming Ritual. 1 mana, give a minion reborn. Kind of reminds me of Adaptation, if you remember that card from Ungoro, where with that card you could hit like Poisonous and it could be insane, but you could also low roll it. This one is more consistent, but I don't know. I don't think it's that great. Like, I think it's average. I think it's perfectly average. I'm gonna go with a 3, because obviously, you know, the really high roll situation is you hit it on a reborn minion, like a minion. But no, you can't get double reborn, so that doesn't even work. You wouldn't get back like the reborn, right? Because you can only have 1 reborn on it, so you wouldn't get. You can't get double reborn. But if you put it on like a Death Rattle minion, then it can be pretty good, right? Because then you get like the Death Rattle effect on the minion that comes back. So, yeah, but I think it's average overall. Okay. Penance. On to... Oh, that was the first priest card. Okay. Second priest card, Penance. 2 mana, lifesteal, deal 3 damage to a minion. It's good. It's good. I mean, priests generally, obviously can't go face, but priests generally don't care too much about smorking. So deal 3 and heal 3. Yeah, quite strong. I'm gonna go with a 4. Priest is getting a lot of good cards. Be prepared, chat. Be prepared for what's coming with Priest. Dun dun dun. Sandhoof Waterbear. 5 mana 5/5. At the end of your turn, restore 5 health to a damage-friendly character. 5 mana 5/5. So it's got okay stats. And if you hit it on like a 4/1 Yeti or something, that would be disgusting, right? It's good. It's definitely good. I'm just thinking about how good. And even just healing your face, 5 health is a lot. It's a ton. Good luck smorking Priest down when they play this. I'm gonna go with a 4.5. I think it's between a 4 and a 4.5. Yeah. It's very, very good. Okay. Grand Mummy. 2 mana, 1/2, reborn, Death Rattle, give a random friendly minion +1/+1. So kind of like that Paladin card or similar. How good is a 1/2? In theory, that buffs twice, but you need to have something on the board for it to buff twice. I still think these 2-drops are pretty good. I rated the last one pretty highly, and I think this one's also quite good. Yeah, this doesn't kill much, but if you get... Like, priests tend to have a way of getting, like, high health minions onto the board, too. That are hard to deal with, and then this gives them 2 buffs for 2 mana. I think it's pretty good. I'm going to go with a 3.5. 3.5. Above average. It's between a 3.5 and a 4. I'm very interested in playing with these cards, though. Like, once we play with this card and the Paladin one, we'll have just a couple of games. You'll have a much better idea of how it feels. All right. Holy Ripple. Oh, yeah. Okay, so another very good priest card. 2 mana, deal 1 damage to all enemies, restore 1 health to all friendly characters. So kind of similar to Spirit Lash. You don't heal your face for as much as Spirit Lash, But the upside on this one is restore 1 health to all friendly characters. So obviously it's insane with things like Northshire Cleric, right? But yeah, how good? I would say it's on the level of a 4, right? It's like 4 to 4.5. I think I'll go with a 4. If you get spell power and stuff though, sheesh, scary, man. Oh, and by the way, just so you guys know, I'll definitely thank all the subs and stuff too after. But if anyone subs or anything, just let them know that I don't have notifications on for this. But I still love them, okay? I still love you guys. Thanks for the support. All right, moving on. Wretched Reclaimer. 3 mana, 3/3. Battlecry, destroy a friendly minion, then return it to life with full health. Oh, man, this one's going to be a tilter. Because, like, it's already good. So, you know, you could hit, like, Injured Blade Master or something, right? Or the 2-drop that we'll talk about in a second. But it's a 2/6 that gets damaged when you play it, so it can get healed by this. So obviously you play Injured Blade Master, you could turn into a 4/7, right? If you play this after. The thing that's really scares me about the card is with the Reborn stuff. Because if you do it on a Reborn minion, then you'll get the minion back with 1 health, and then you'll also get the full minion back with Reborn again, and it's like, oh boy. So, yeah, I think this card's really, really scary, especially with the number of Reborn minions that I think are going to be around. I'm going to go with a 4.5. It is only a 3/3, so it's a little bit understated, but man, that's a powerful effect just with the cards that we've seen. All right. Speaking of powerful cards, Psychopomp. 4 mana, 3/1. Battlecry. Summon a random friendly minion that died this game. Give it Reborn. I think this card is absolutely bonkers. Because the way I see it is even if you low roll the card, it's still good. So you hit it on a 2/3 or a 3/2 or whatever, right? You play 4 mana for a 3/1 and a 3/2, let's say, that spawns a 3/1. And that's like a low roll. If you high roll it and hit it on a Death Rattle minion or something, it's insane. Or you hit on like just like a Yeti, it's absolutely insane. So I'm gonna say this card, man, it's like borderline 5. I'm gonna go with 4.5. Dude, I think this is actually a 5. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say this one's a 5. I think it's disgusting, and yeah, let's go with a 5. Because I think it's better than this card, which we rated as a 4.5. 5. Okay, moving on. Plague of Death. Do we need this card, chat? Just tell me. Do we need this to be a card? Like, Psychic Scream is already coming back to the arena rotation. Why do we need another Scream? Basically. Yeah, it costs 2 more mana, but I don't like these cards. So 9 mana, silence and destroy all minions. So silence means that death rattles still get dealt with. It hits your board too, obviously. But yeah, it definitely is a very good card for what priests want to do. I think it's probably worse than Psychic Scream, because Psychic Scream comes down earlier, right? I think that's fair. So, like, Psychic Scream, I would say, is like a 5. This card, I would say, is a 4.5. It's like 4 to 4.5. Definitely worse than Scream, but still really, really insane. It's 9 mana dreads. That's a ton. Okay, we'll see in like we'll see in a in a couple weeks who's right. Okay. High Priestess Amet. 4 mana, 2/7. Whenever you summon a minion, set its health equal to this minion's. So that means it works with like Reborn effects, right? Because that's summoning. Correct? So if you kill off a Reborn minion and then it summons Does it go? It goes to 7 health. Is that correct, chat? And it obviously would work with any minion you play. A 2/7 isn't even the worst stats. Like a 2/7 isn't great, but it's not the worst stats. And it likely will stick around 1 turn, which means the next turn you'll get a hit on it. So I think this card's quite strong, man. All these priest cards are really good. It's again between a 4 and a 4.5. I'm going to go with... it's hard to say. It's very good. I'm going to go with a 4, but yeah, it's between like a 4 and 4.5. Very, very good. We're not worrying about quests. Forget those. Oh, baby. So we're on to Rogue. This might be my favorite card coming in the new expansion. I mean, I love Rogue 1-drops that generate value because I love having a 1-drop in Rogue, and then the fact that it gives you a card back is good. And it also, Reborn minions, I would say, on average, are better than just a regular minion. So this card is like bonkers. Even if it was just a 1-mana 1/1, it would still be quite good. But the fact that it's a 1-mana 1/2 with this effect, it's insane. Easy 5. Easy 5. It's taking me a while to upgrade my thing, but... easy. Card's bonkers. So good. Consistently great. And it's cute, too. Kind of reminds me of my new cat, Cookie. Meow. Okay. All right. Okay. Not biased or anything, by the way. Clever Disguise. 2 mana. Add 2 random spells from another class to your hand. 2 random spells from another class. So this isn't this isn't from your opponent's class. This is like Super Clown Fiesta. Like, they play this and you have no idea what they're gonna get, right? You can't really play around, what they're gonna get because there's just so many options. Spells are quite high power level, so this card is good, and I think the meta will be pretty slow. So you'll get away with doing something like this. It's between a 3.5 and a 4. I'll go for a 4. But it's between those two. All right. Hooked Scimitar. 3 mana 2/2 combo gain +2 attack. I feel like I like this card a little bit less than a lot of people. Like, in the ideal situation, it's great. You have a backstab. But yeah, like, most combo cards are insane with backstab. If you have to just play it as a 3 mana 2/2 weapon, that feels really bad. If you combo it, you get a 4/2 weapon for 3, which is really, really good. Like, really, really good. But I also like never liked, like, rogue weapons I'm always a little bit weird on, because the fact that you already have a weapon as your hero power drops them down in value a little bit for me. So, I don't know. I think it's probably a little bit above average, but I don't think it's that great. So let's go with, it's between a 3 and a 3.5. I'm just going to go with a 3. I don't know. I don't think it's that great. Okay. Okay. Plague of Madness. Each player equips a 2/2 knife with poisonous. The thing about this card is you could play it in a situation where you're, like, flooding the board with a bunch of little crappers, and your opponent has a big guy, right? 1? You think it's a 1? I wouldn't say it's a 1, because you could just not play it, right? And sometimes it could be clutch. I'm going to go with a 1.5. Or maybe even higher. 2? No, 1.5. Let's not be too crazy. It's not that. I mean, it's still pretty bad. It's still pretty bad. Let's go with the 1.5. I like it. I like it. Yeah. I mean, obviously the idea of this card, like, you could use it for weapon removal. Or you could use it for, like, you play it and then you have an ooze. Obviously, that's like the really insane hits for it. But on average in Arena, it's going to be really difficult to use this, right? I don't know. I like it's a 1.5 or 2. But we'll see. It's an interesting card. Interesting. Yeah, 1 mana finisher. Okay, you guys are kind of convincing me. You know what? We'll go to 2. Chat influenced. This is like me influencing chat draft. I made it a 2. Chat, we did this together. Pog T, if you love me. Pog T's in the chat. My favorite emote. Okay, moving on. No, we're not going any higher. No. No, that's high enough. Okay, that's what it looks like. Socket Sapper. 4 mana 4/4. Death Rattle, return a random enemy minion to your opponent's hand. So, if this card was in this meta, it would be absolutely insane because it's all about tempo right now. Because it's going to be a little bit of a slower meta, I don't think it will be quite as insane, but it's still really good. Because, the idea is why it would be a little bit less good is your opponent might be able to exploit it a little bit. If they're able to make the trade to kill it, they play, I don't know, Stonehill Defender or the Mummy Cat or something into it. But I think those instances are going to be pretty rare. Like, generally removing a 4/4 is okay stats, and the upside of this is insane. So I think there's not going to be that much room to punish people for this. I'm going to go with a 4.5. Because the way that I generally play Rogue too, like, you're going to be ahead on the board, you're going to be pushing tempo, and that means that you're going to be the one making the trade with it. So I like it a lot. I think it's really, really strong. Okay, Whirl Kick Master. 2 mana 1/2. Whenever you play a combo card, add a random combo card to your hand. No. It's a 2 mana 1/2. And you need like a couple combo cards to make it really good. That's a no. I skipped a card? Okay, we'll go back in a second. Let me go ahead and hand out the I'm gonna go with the 1.5. I'm not seeing it. No. 1.5. Not a fan. Wait, how did I skip this? What? This is a good card, too. What the heck? Is it because I'm a boomer? Is this the time to use the boomer emote? Alright. Bazaar Mugger. 5 mana 3/5. Rush, Battlecry, add a random minion from another class to your hand. Oh man, another one from another class. I don't know about you guys, but I kind of like it when it's from the opponent's class. Because when it's another class, it's like, who the heck knows? Not that you can really play around it from your opponent's class, but man, it's like good luck guessing what they could possibly get from it. It's good. It's definitely good. 4 mana 3/5 is okay stats, and you're paying 1 more mana for rush and a card. So it's quite strong. I'm gonna go with a 4. It's like in that, again, 4 to 4.5 range. Maybe one day I'll just do like quarter numbers, but it's quite good. Easy 5? No, this isn't a 5. No. It's good. No, 5. No. Disagree. Alright, we already did that card. Shadow of Death. 4 mana, choose a minion, shuffle 3 shadows into your deck that summon a copy when drawn. This has got to be a 0 because it's too complicated for my brain. I can't handle that. No, that's too much text. That I feel like I'm playing MTG with that amount of text. I don't know about that. That's too much. I can't handle that. It's not that good in Arena. Like, it's more of like a constructed card you build combos around. But yeah, just in general, I don't, because you're going to need to draw it pretty quickly for it to be good, right? So, and I don't think it's going to be very reliable. And 4 mana, like that's too much mana. So yeah, not a fan of it. I'm going to say it's like a 1.5. Yeah, remember, we start at 1, so 1.5 is really, really bad on that scale. Okay. That's what it looks like. Cast when drawn, summon a whatever thing. Okay. Anka the Buried. 5 mana, 5/5. Battlecry. Change each Death Rattle minion in your hand into a 1/1 that costs 1. So is this better or worse than a 5 mana, 5/5? It's better, probably, because generally getting a Death Rattle mini out for cheaper, even if you nerf its stats, is good. But not much better. And it probably, most of the time, will just be a 5 mana, 5/5. I'll go with a 3.5 here. Maybe very slightly above average. Yeah, okay. We're not doing the quest. On to Shaman. Totemic Surge. This is an interesting card. I think it's another one of the cards that I'm going to have to play with a bit to get comfortable with knowing how good it is. Because 0 mana, give your totems +2 attack. It means that if you totem in the early game, you can kind of get the tempo back with this, right? You turn into a 2/2, which can be used for trading. And it can be kind of used as like a mini Bloodlust, but the buff stays around. So I think it's okay. I'm gonna say it's like 3. I think it's an average card. It's obviously much better than Totemic Might, right? Which gives you health, but sometimes you with Shaman, you get in a position where you are toteming each turn, and you've kind of taken the board, and this gives you some extra value from them, so. All right. Evil Totem. 2 mana, 0/2. At the end of your turn, add a lackey to your hand. So in the worst case, you're paying 2 mana for a lackey, and it's something they have to kill, right? Which is pretty good. Because if it sticks around and you get a lackey each turn, that's insane value. It's very good. I'm going to say it's a 4. I don't think it's higher than a 4, because if you play it as just get a lackey, 2 mana for a lackey, I don't know. I don't that's pretty rough. But yeah. If this thing gets out of control and you can't kill it, it's going to be tilting. I think 4 is fair. All right. Sandstorm Elemental. 2 mana, 2/2. Battlecry. Deal 1 damage to all enemy minions. Overload 1. So Twilight Flamecaller is back, except Shaman gets it. It's insane. It's super insane. It's like very similar to even like Maelstrom Power or Maelstrom Portal. I would say Maelstrom Portal is probably a little bit better because it can get modified by spell power. So this is always going to be 1 damage. You don't have the chance for it to, hit for 2 or something like that. It does have the elemental tag, which is good, but I'm going to say this is it's still really, really strong. I got to go with like a 4.5. I think 4 would be too low. So, yeah. I think 4.5 is fair. AoE on a stick is always good. We've just seen that, right? Primordial's coming back. Yeah, it's just good. All right. Weaponized Wasp. 3 mana, 3/3. Battlecry. If you control a lackey, deal 3 damage. Oh boy. So if you do get a lackey in play, it's bananas, right? 3 mana, 3/3. Deal 3 is great. But how often are you going to have a lackey on the board? Like, we don't have that many lackey generators right now. Yeah, it can go face. It can. Yeah. Like, because there's just... How many are we going to have? I feel like there's not going to be enough lackeys for this to be better than average. I think it's only... Yeah, it's probably going to only be the totem, right? This guy? I don't think they announced any new ones, right? So, I think it's probably below average then, because like 90% of the time it's going to be a 3 mana 3/3. But this is one of those cards where if it comes back in when, you know, Evil Cable Rat's around, then it's way higher. All right. Oh boy. Earthquake. 7 mana, deal 5 damage to all minions, then deal 2 damage to all minions. At least it's double-sided. Alright? But that damage distribution means it will oftentimes kill Death Rattles, too. Kill the first minion and then kill the Death Rattle. Yeah, it's definitely good. And it definitely plays into that shaman, like, the shaman do nothing strategy. How good is it? I don't really like playing with these cards. It doesn't mean they're not good. I don't think it's quite a 4.5. But it's like 4 to 4.5. Maybe it is 4.5. The fact that it hits your own board, though, in Shaman, I don't know. We'll go with a 4.5. Compared to Scream, the difference between this and Scream is I think Priest does that kind of a playstyle a little better than Shaman. I'm going to go with a 4.5. I'm not convinced it's a 5. I don't think it's a 5. Nope, not a 5. Hard stance on it not being a 5. Okay. Mogu Flesh Shaper. 7 mana, 3/4. Rush. Costs 1 less for each minion on the battlefield. So you would need what for this to be good? Like 5 minions on the battlefield? Then it's really good? 4, it's okay, I guess? 4, it's okay. The thing about this card is it's really disgusting if you hit it with like Unstable, right? And Unstable Evolution is coming back, which... Yeah, those kind of cheese mechanics in Arena are really strong. Because you can get this out... Let's say you play it for like 4 or 5 mana or something, and then Unstable. Pretty nasty. I think Unstable is the only Evolve effect we're going to have, though, right? Is there anything else that's coming back? Help me, chat, if you think of anything. I think it's just Unstable. But Unstable, we'll be seeing a decent amount of it, because it's pretty much always the pick in its bucket. I'm not 100% sold. It's more of like a cheese card, right? Which I think most of the time it's going to be, I think average. I think 3. 3. 3 is good enough for me. It's like 3 to 3.5. What is that? Plague of Murlocs? 3 mana, transform all minions into random Murlocs. Transform all minions into random Murlocs. What a Clown Fiesta card. Man, this makes things like the Earthquake a little bit better, because you could actually play this with like the Earthquake, right? You're definitely going to be able to clear everything with that. It's a weird card to evaluate. Because the thing is, if your opponent plays like one big threat and you just have like totems, it's really good, right? But if you're the one with the big minions... Because in a class that has totems, I think it's pretty good, right? Damn, it's hard to evaluate. I want to say it's... I definitely think it's an above average card. Just think about how much above average. Maybe like a 3.5? Somewhere in that range? I'm hesitant to go to like a 4, because it's a little bit weird to use, but... Yeah. Okay. Splitting Axe. 4 mana, 3/2. Battlecry, summon copies of your totems. So that Lackey Generator is a totem, correct? So if you play this after playing that Lackey Generator, then in theory you would get another one, right? Yeah. The problem is 4 mana for a Fiery War Axe that maybe copies like a healing totem isn't that great. Like these understated weapons I'm not a big fan of. So I would say, I mean, it's still a weapon, but I would say it's on the weaker side for weapons. I'm going to go with a 2.5. All right, Vecina. 4 mana, 2/6. While you're overloaded, your other minions have +2 attack. So this is other minions, not just totems. +2 attack. And it's like a passive effect with this card on the board. I don't know. You need to have the overload cards, and then this 2/6 has to live. Maybe like a 3? 3.5? Let's go with a 3. I'm not really seeing it. Don't think it's going to work. We're not going to talk about the quest. Okay, on to Warlock stuff. Damn, this card is good. 1 mana, Sinister Deal, discover a lackey. It's so good. Because the thing is, like, how often when you're playing, like, the lackey generators, are you looking for a specific one because you know it's going to be insane in that situation? Like, quite often. So you'll pay 2 mana to find probably the perfect lackey. That's really good. It's between like a 4 and a 4.5. Not 3. Man, I'm going to go with a 4.5, actually. I think this card's really nutty. Lackeys are very powerful. Yeah, the one that they just brought out, the taunt and health one, might be a little bit weaker, but it's still good in the right situation. And that's the power of the Discover. So I think it's really, really good. Okay. Evil Recruiter. Oh boy. I mean, there shouldn't be that many lackeys running around, but then again, like, if it depends on where this card's bucketed. But destroy a friendly lackey to summon a 5/5 demon. So the most reliable way to play this card will be to wait till turn 4. And then you play the lackey that you discovered in this, and you play a 5/5 and a 3/3. That's like insane. So I'm not convinced you will get enough lackeys to make it work reliably. So if you could, it would be like bonkers, right? Like 4.55 level. But because it's unlikely, it's a little bit worse than that. I still feel like you give this card a 4, just because until we know how often you'll be getting this card, like that just isn't that tough of a combo to pull off. This and that. So yeah, I'm still a bit scared. That's what it looks like. Whoa, what is that? It looks like a pumpkin demon. All right. Neferset Thrasher. 3 mana, 4/5. Whenever this attacks, deal 3 damage to your hero. A Yeti on turn 3. And the downside is 3 damage to your hero, which in some cases could be an upside with some of the cards we'll see later. As you know, like Spellstone's also coming back. Quite good. Like, you're gonna almost always get a free kill with this, right? And it's unlikely someone will want to leave it up to let you take that damage, because it's 4 power. So that's relevant. So generally you'll like kill one thing and they'll like remove it, or maybe you'll use it to kill 2 things, which would be great. So I'm gonna go with a 4.5. I don't think it's quite like a 5 level, because it's great in the early game, but if you get to the late game and you just need to kind of drop stuff and you're low, this card becomes a little weird to use. I've seen it before with Warlock cards like this. So I don't think it's quite a 5 level, but it's quite good. Plague of Flames. 1 mana. Destroy all your minions. For each one, destroy a random enemy minion. So you need the right deck for it. Right? But if you draft like a Zoo-ish deck, it's pretty insane. You could play a lackey and then use it as like a deadly shot for 2 mana. Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of similar to what Unwilling Sack was. And I liked Unwilling Sack a lot. Unwilling Sack was, I think, kind of underrated. Like you tend to like it was there was enough times where that card was insane for me, just to have extra removal. So, yeah, it's definitely a good card. I'm just thinking about how good. I'm going to say it's a 4. Because it, like, I think this tokeny Warlock strategy will be good, also because we're getting Demon Bolt back, right? So the flood the board and then have these removal cards seems pretty good. I think it's good. All right. Expired Merchant. 2 mana, 2/1. Battlecry. Discover your highest cost card. Death Rattle. Add 2 copies of it to your hand. Oh, sorry, discard. I said discover. I was like, what the hell? This is insane. Discard your highest cost card. Death Rattle. Add 2 copies of it to your hand. So it's a value generator, but in Warlock, I don't really like value generators like this all that much. Because I don't want to play a 2 mana 2/1. Like, I don't want to play a Loot Hoarder in Warlock much. You also let them know what the highest cost card is. I'm not a big fan. And it could get silenced, right? Like, it could get silenced, which would be really bad. So, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm going to go with like a 3. It's okay. It does give you value, but how important is value if you can tap for it? Not a big fan. All right, Imp Balming. 4 mana, destroy a minion, shuffle 3 worthless imps into your deck. Okay. So it's kind of similar to Blast Crystal in a way, right? You kill a minion immediately, but there's a little bit of a downside to it. The downside in this case is drawing the imps are 1/1s, right? 1/1s, if I remember correctly. It's still really good because your chances of drawing it are fairly low. So you're gonna have this. The only thing you have to keep in mind too is like you're gonna have this with Demon Bolt. So it doesn't matter too much for the rating of the individual card, but you aren't gonna want, like 5 of those 2 cards, maybe like 2 to 3 of them combined. It's still good though. I would say it's like a 4. I think a 4 is fair. Yep. Okay. Oh yeah, there it is. There's the Worthless Imp. It's been around forever. Diseased Vulture. After your hero takes damage on your turn, summon a random 3-cost minion. Yeah, so this with like Flame Imp is really scary. You got that 3-drop that's a Yeti, really scary. Yeah. Do we get what do we get the 2-drop back too? We do, right? Vulgar Homunculus? I think we get that back. So another card that's going to be good with this. We don't get the... Yeah, you can also tap. Yeah. Tap is like the most reliable way to trigger it. Do we get Librarian back? Chat? Is Librarian back too? I think it is, right? I want to say it is, because that was like with Spellstone. Yeah. So this is going to be disgusting. Like, really, really good. I'll give it a 4.5. It could be... Yeah. I mean, it's like 4.5 to 5. I don't think it's quite 5. I'll go with 4.5. Scary. Rift Cleaver. 6 mana, 7/5. Destroy a minion. Your hero takes damage equal to its health. Dude, Warlock is good. Man, because like the thing about these cards is like this card, the 3-drop, like if you... Spellstone's going to be back too. So these cards are really good with Spellstone. And it can make the damage that you take kind of irrelevant in a way if you draft two or 3 Spellstones. That is a lot of health, but this card's bonkers because it's a 6 mana 7/5. That's not even that bad of stats. Oh boy. This might be a 5. The more I think about it, and the cards that are coming back, and like you'll want to prioritize healing in Warlock, so you'll be taking things like Shroom Brewer, but I'm gonna go with a 5. Yeah. This thing seems disgusting. Yeah. Oof. Oh, this is going to be a tilter. This is going to be a big-time tilter to lose to. But maybe for other people. Me, I don't get salty. So, like, I take my losses, I shrug them off. Maybe some of the other arena streamers you watch will get a little angry about that card. Me, we keep it cool. Cool, calm, collected. All right. Dark Pharaoh Tekhan. 5 mana, 4/4, Battlecry. For the rest of the game, your lackeys are 4/4. Thank God there aren't that many lackeys. If there are at any point and this card comes back and you have lackeys running all over the place, it's so stupid. Because there aren't that many lackeys, dude. But even if you hit on just one lackey, it's worth it, right? Like if you hit this in the whole game, you pay 1 mana to turn your lackey into a 4/4 instead of a 1/1. It's worth it. So for that reason, I still think it's really disgusting. Yeah. I think it's like... It's like a 3.5 to 4. I'm probably going to go with a 3.5 just because I don't think there will be enough lackeys, but man, it's... Someone will meme with that. Okay. Frightened Flunky. 2 mana, 2 onto Warrior. Frightened Flunky. 2 mana, 2/2. Taunt, Battlecry, discover a taunt minion. Which means it can discover itself. And then you can play it again. It can discover itself. And then after it's discovered itself a few times, it will discover Stonehill Defender. And then Stonehill Defender will then discover this one again. And it will just be an infinite wall of annoying taunts. And 2 mana 2/2 isn't even that bad. This card's disgusting. It's insanely powerful. I'm going to go with a 4.5, but it's really in that like super top tier of cards. Like it's in that like 4.5 to 5 range. I have to think about how good the taunts are that are coming back, but yeah, it's disgusting. Restless Mummy, 4 mana 3/2, Rush Reborn. So you can play this, rush it into something. The 3/1 that comes back will have Rush 2, so you can kill like 2 things with it. It's quite good. Like a 4? 4 to 4.5? So I'm just thinking about it compared to like Fireplume Phoenix, right? Like I think Fireplume Phoenix is probably better than this card. And so therefore, whatever I would rate Fireplume Phoenix, I would say it's a little bit less than that. I feel like it's more like a 4 than a 4.5. I'm gonna go with a 4. The thing is, maybe it's actually 4.5. Because you could use this to kill like a Yeti or something. Well, not a Yeti, but a 6 health creature, right? By both charges? Chad, I don't know. 4 or 4.5. We'll stick with 4, but it's in that range. It's good. It's really good. Armored Goon. 6 mana, 6/7. So Boulderfist Ogre gets a upgrade here. Whenever your hero attacks, gain 5 armor. In Arena, like, maybe you'll get 5 armor one time from it. It still has good stats, so, like, there isn't much downside to it. It's solid. I'm gonna say it's like a 4. An ogre with slight upside. But that other card's better than this. Maybe it's more like... No, let's go 3.5. Because how often will the armor be all that relevant? Whoops, I just made a 4.5. 3.5. It's, it's in that range. Don't need to be that picky. Into the Fray. 1 mana. Give all taunt minions in your hand +2/+2. So how many taunt minions do you need to hit for this to be good? Just 1, probably? From past experiences, cards like this aren't that good because you just don't have that many taunt minions in hand. So, like, if you hit it, and if you top deck it, it's just awful. So, Uh, I don't know. Maybe like a 2, 2.5. I think 2 is probably okay. Because there are a lot of taunt minions coming in this expansion, and Warrior gets a bunch of them. So I think it's reasonable that you could buff 2 or 3 things if you if you get a little bit lucky. Okay. Plague of Wrath. 5 mana, destroy all damage minions. So how good is a 5 mana mass execute? I mean, obviously you can like pair it with a card like Whirlwind or something, but I don't know. Yeah, obviously like with Scorcher or something, but that's a 10 mana combo. I don't think it's that great. I feel like it's an okay card, like a 3. Because I'm just not like. Are there enough cards coming back that have a whirlwind effect that make this good? Like, we don't really have a whirlwind weapon with it, so Okay. Tomb Warden, or Tome Warden, however you want to say it. 8 mana, 3/6. Taunt, Battlecry, summon a copy of this minion. So obviously, you play with the 1-cost buff card, and now you get 4 7s. Sorry, that math was wrong. 5 8s, and that would be disgusting. On its own, I think it's only okay. Because Fin Creepers aren't great cards, and if you just compare this to like Power of Creation or something, Power of Creation where you get two 6-drops, it's like way better. These do have taunt, but I think it's above average, but only a little bit. I'm gonna go with a 3.5. Because you have to wait till turn 8 to even be able to play it. So it's like, it's not very flexible. Anyhow. Oops. Blood Sworn Mercenary. Oh boy. Oh man, I remember this card now. 3 mana, 3/3. Battlecry. Choose a damage-friendly minion. Summon a copy of it. Oh boy. I mean, it's insane with combo cards, right? If you hit like what is it? The one that deals 1 damage, gives it +2 attack. I can't remember the name of the card, but yeah, like with something like that, or if the lackeys aren't around right now, like with the 1 damage to it with a lackey, maybe like Slam, you could even do it to set up combo. Oh yeah, like Taskmaster's a really good one, right? Yeah, the reborn minions will be damaged. That's true. Yeah, so it's going to be pretty easy to get decent value from it, and just decent value is insane because a 3 mana 3/3 isn't that understated. Inner Rage is the card I was thinking about. Yeah, it's very very good. I'm gonna go with a 4.5. Another card where it's very much like you want to clear the board in this meta, right? Like you just want to clear the board because there's so many punishes. It's kind of insane, I gotta say. Like, compared to my last review, the number of like 4 to 5 ratings I have given in this set is bonkers. And I mean, they might not all be accurate, but holy, there are a lot of powerful cards coming. All right. Live Wire Lance. 3 mana, 2/2 weapon. After hero attacks, add a lackey to your hand. Really good. Really good. A 3 mana 2/2 weapon is a bit underwhelming, but getting a lackey way more than makes up for it. For sure. So, yeah. Getting 2 lackeys. I mean, 2 lackeys are worth probably 3 mana. Something, if not more. So it's bonkers. Really, really good card. It's between like a 4 and a 4.5. I'll go with a 4.5. Yeah. It's very, it's 4 to 4.5 range. The other card is better than this one. But, that one, did I rate that one a 4.5 or 5? No, I don't even remember. Anyhow, we'll stick with 4.5. I think it's good. How do you even pronounce this, chat? Armagadillo? Armagadillo? That's probably it, right? 6 mana, 4/7 taunt. At the end of your turn, give all taunt minions in your hand +2/+2. So unlike that one cost where it's a spell and it's a dead card if you draw it, like this isn't, the stats on this aren't even that bad. Because a 5 mana 4/7 is premium. This is, you pay 1 more mana for the effect, and it can keep on buffing. So I think this card's quite strong. I'm gonna go with a 4. Not a 4.5. It didn't adjust. 4. Yeah. Warrior got a lot of good cards. Not talking about the quest. Okay. All right, on to the neutrals. Okay, chat. Time for the bread and butter of Arena, the neutrals. These are like the cards we'll be playing with a ton. Let's do it. Jar Dealer. 1 mana, 1/1. Death Rattle. Add a random 1-cost minion to your hand. Wait, I don't remember this card. How did I miss this one? The heck? It's good. 1 mana, 1/1 that gives you a 1-cost minion. So it gives you something to like fill in. It's not, I wouldn't say it's quite as good as like Acorn Bearer, but it's still good. I'm gonna go with like a 3.5. It's a 1/1, not a 2/1, right? Yeah. It's between a 3 and a 3.5. I still think it's okay. This sucks. You suck. Sorry, that was aggressive. Mermy. 1 mana, 1/1 Reborn. This card's really good. Really, really good. It's, you know, we've seen cards like this a lot, right? Like Possessed Villager, Mecharoo, things like that. It's whatever those cards are. What is it? Probably like a 4. It's like a 4 to 4.5. The premium one. Whatever you would rate that. Bug Collector. 2 mana, 2/1. Battlecry, summon a 1/1 Locust with Rush. So a strictly better version of the Met card. 2/1 and a 1/1. I think it's pretty good. We talked about this a little bit yesterday too. Because even if you're just tempoing it out on 2 with nothing to kill, you play a 2/1 and a 1/1, which is fine, right? It's okay. And playing a 2/1 and getting a ping, you know, is okay too. So I think this card's pretty solid. I would go with like a 3.5. Why am I so slow updating the number? There we go. That's what the Locust looks like. Look at that cute little fellow. Fish Flinger. 2 mana, 3/2 Murloc. Battlecry, add a random Murloc to each player's hand. I kind of like this card. I don't think it's that great. Like, it's basically a 2 mana 3/2 because you both get a Murloc, and maybe you have, in theory, you craft your deck in such a way that you have Murloc synergy, but that's really unlikely. So it's basically a 2 mana 3/2 with some variance thrown in. It's fine. Like, I think you just rate it whatever a 2 mana 3/2 is, which is probably like a 3. It's fine. All right. Injured Tol'vir. 2 mana 2/6 taunt. Battlecry, deal 3 damage to this minion. So it's effectively a 2 mana 2/3 taunt when you play it, which is good. And it obviously has synergy with healing. You can heal it up. Synergy with some of the destroy and resummon cards. Come back as a 2/6. It's quite good. It's a 2-drop with some upside. Probably like a 3.5. Like, most of the time, it's a 2 mana 2/3 taunt, which is good. Kobold Sand Trooper. 2 mana, 2/1. Death Rattle, deal 3 damage to the enemy hero. Oh my god. This is the best card ever printed. Think of the smork. 3? Not 2, chat. 3 damage to the face. Wow. Yeah. And anyhow, it's pretty garbage. Like, 3 damage is not that much. And playing a 2 mana, 2/1, it's pretty awful. Like, it's like 1.5. I think it's really bad. What's wrong, Cookie? Cookie, I have to do a review, okay? Is that okay? You can sit. I know. Hi. I know. You want attention. I know. Take a seat right over there. Okay. 1.5. You're going to make this very difficult, aren't you, the review? Aren't you? Yeah. Yeah, you are. Okay. That's okay. You're worth it. Just watch your tail. There you go. Okay, 1.5. Serpent Egg. 2 mana, 0/3. Death Rattle, summon a 3/4 Sea Serpent. So, Nerubian Egg, but a little bit worse, right? How many cards are we going to have that are good with this for, like, neutral? Obviously, like, for classes, it depends a little bit, but I don't think there are that many good cards with this, right? Seems pretty bad. Hi. Yeah. Like, 1.5, bad. Somewhere in that range, I would say. It's bad. Bad. All right. Look at that Sea Serpent. Wow. Temple Berserker. 2 mana, 1/2. Reborn, has +2 attack while damaged. Bit of an interesting card because when it comes back to life, it will be enraged. So it's kind of like it reads a 2 mana, 1/2 that comes back as a 3/1. Which isn't awful, right? It's like okay. Is this better than just a like 3/2 or a 2/3 though? Probably a little bit better. Probably. I mean, I feel like I think it's worse than Kindly Grandmother, in my opinion. Because since it comes back as a 3/1, it can be pinged off. So it's like 3 to 3.5. We'll go with a 3.5. Just because I feel like a lot of these Reborn cards are going to be maybe even a little better than I think. So let's go with 3.5. 2 mana, 2/2 demon with lifesteal. Bad? Like, it's just not very good. Like a 2, I guess. It's like I mean, there's worse cards in the world, but 2/2s aren't that good. 2 is probably fair. Warlock card, yeah, but I mean, I'm just rating it for neutrals, right? So on average, I'd say it's like about a 2. All right. Candle Taker. 3 mana, 3/2 with Reborn. So a 3 mana, 3/2 comes back as a 3/1. It's pretty good. Is it better or worse than Egg Napper? Similar. Yeah, it's kind of like Scarlet. It's a little bit better than Scarlet Crusader, right? So whatever we rate Scarlet Crusader, it's a little bit better than that. So maybe like 3.5. I don't know if it's quite 4. It's like 3. It's like 3.5 to 4, but I think 3.5 is probably correct. Hi, cutie. Hi, kitty. All right. Bone Wraith. 4 mana, 2/5 Taunt Reborn. 2/5 Taunt. These Reborn cards are weird. 2/5 is a pretty crappy stat line, but it's still annoying to get through. It's kind of similar in effect to like a Sludge Belcher, but it's worse, I think, because coming back as a 1 health, you can ping it off, so it's a little bit less stall than like a Belcher, but it's not bad. Feels like another like 3.5, right? Like 3 to 3.5 range. Just keep it at that. Seems fair. All right. Faceless Lurker. 5 mana 3/3. Taunt Battlecry, double this minion's health. It's a Fin Creeper, right? Like 99% of the time it's a Fin Creeper. And Fin Creeper is okay. Like a 3. I think a 3 is fair. I wouldn't say Fin Creeper is an above average card, right? 3. It's like, yeah, somewhere in that range. Okay, Phalanx Commander. 5 mana 4/5. Your taunt minions have +2 attack. And it doesn't have taunt itself. I don't think it's very good. Like a 2? I feel like it's like a 2. Like, because even buffing your taunt minions isn't that... Like, buffing the attack of your taunt minions doesn't do that much. Like, buffing their health matters way more, in my opinion. So, I don't know. I'm not a huge fan. If this card had taunt, I think it'd be pretty solid. But without it, I don't know. Let's try. Okay. Okay, Cookie. Don't fall. Wasteland Assassin. 5 mana 4/2 Stealth Reborn. A 4/2. So the cool thing about this card is it comes back with stealth, right? So you're going to probably be able to get a kill, and then it's going to be annoying the next turn. Careful, don't fall. There you go. How good is it? Like 3.5, I want to say? Somewhere in that range. We've had a lot of those lately, but... I don't know if it's quite 4, but... It's good. It's definitely good. 3.5 to 4. Yeah. Yeah. Seems fair. Wasteland Scorpion. It's bad. I remember this one very well. 7 mana 3/9 poisonous. Like, whenever they make these minions that have a lot of health and are expensive and are poisonous, they feel very underwhelming. Like, Maxina was kind of the same way, where it's just like, Like, I want my 7-drop to do a little bit more of this than this. So, it's pretty weak. I'd say it's like a 2. Okay, my ex, no, whatever. Picky chat. Maxina. All right. Anubisath Warbringer. 9 mana 9/6. Death Rattle. Give all minions in your hand +3/+3. So according to our Lord and Savior Kriparian, you guys are looking at the new Overlord of Arena. I don't really see it that way. Like, it's in a slower meta, it definitely is going to be good, I would say. Okay to good, but it's not like this isn't our new Overlord of Arena, because it has to die for the effect to happen. Doesn't have taunt, doesn't affect the board immediately. Generally, the expensive cards that don't do that like aren't that good. So yeah, it's a little bit of a hard card to rate. I'm gonna say it's slight. I want to say it's like average. The more I think about it, because you have to kill it off, and then you need to have cards in your hand with it. I'm gonna say it's like a 3. Kind of unremarkable. Yeah. Okay. Living Monument. 10 mana, 10/10 taunt. So it's a better Monkasaur. Has less health, but it has taunt, so it actually protects you a little bit. It's still very expensive. Like, it's worse than Ironbark because it only gets scaled up a little bit, and you have to wait till turn 10 to play it. It's not good. Definitely below average. But think about how much below average. Like a 2? Be like 2 stars. Yeah. Sometimes you'll take it probably because I don't think it'll be a real high bucket, but yeah. Okay. Oh no. God, I hate this card. I really hate this card. This is one of those. Why did they have to print it? Couldn't they have just not printed this? Like, do we need a 2-drop that does that when? Because here's my problem with the card. With all of the Reborn cards coming, you're going to get like a trade-off with your card that is Reborn, and then you'll be able to just play this, and then your Reborn cards will come back with full health. Or come back to full health. Not to mention just the fact that, you make a free kill, and then you play it, right? Oh, man. And the thing is, because it only costs 2 mana, it's very flexible. So, like, you'll be able to play it in a lot of times where, whatever. What was the name of the 4-cost card, chat? The 4-cost heal 1 minion. That card was quite good in Arena too. But this is going to be way, way better. Yeah, Hosen Healer. Yeah, like that card was good, but it was a little harder to play. So, yeah, it's really strong. It's like in the 4.5 to 5 range. I would say it's honestly, I think this card's probably a 5. Like, due to the fact that the Reborn mechanic is a thing, due to the fact that it's easy to get the effect off, I think it's a 5. All right. Questing Explorer. Battlecry. If you control the quest, draw a card. The quests aren't an arena, so it's a 2-mana 2/3. Which is fine. What's a 2-mana 2/3? Like a 3? It's okay. 3, maybe slightly below 3. It's fine. Might not even be draftable? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if it'll be an arena, but it doesn't really matter. I mean, it's a 2/3, so yeah. All right, Generous Mummy. 3 mana 5/4. Reborn. Your opponent's cards cost 1 less. This feels like the worst of the Reborn cards. Like, it's not even just 1 reduction. It's all of your opponent's cards cost 1 less. I think it's 2, and then it will come back and do it again. I mean, obviously it's overstated, but I don't know. I think it's pretty bad. 1? We'll go with a 1.5. We don't want to give it. I feel bad if I give a card the lowest of the low rating. You can have a 1.5, but because sometimes it will be okay, but the vast majority of the time it's terrible. All right. Infested Goblin. 3 mana 2/3. Taunt, Death Rattle, add 2 1/1 Scarabs with Taunt to your hand. I don't like it. I think it reminds me a little bit of Igneous Elemental, where you play a 2/3. That gave you 1/2s back. And I never really liked that card, and I would say that 1/2s are better than 1/1 taunts. Excuse me. So I'm not a fan. I think it's too understated, and maybe the idea is you have these taunt minions on the board and then you use like the 5-drop that buffs the attack or something, but not a fan. I think like a 2. It's fair. Yep. Okay. There's the Scarab. Okay. Yeah, this is a card. Burial. Is this even a card? I don't know. 4 mana 3/10 with Taunt. At the start of your turn, shuffle this minion into your deck. So this one's very easy. It's a 1. I mean, there's no reason to give this higher than a 1. But Dreads, what if you have Silence? Yeah. I mean, a lot of cards are good if you have Silence that are normally terrible. It's awful. It's horrible. It's garbage. No. Because you'd have to silence it the turn you play it too, right? Like, it's terrible. Otherwise, it goes into your deck. All right. Sunstruck Henchman. 4 mana 6/5 at the start of your turn. This has a 50% chance to fall asleep. So it is a little overstated, but I don't think it's enough overstated, right? Because not being able to attack with it is just so bad. Like, eventually your opponent will have to deal with it, but it's below average. There's no doubt it's below average. I would say it's like a 2. This is no Frozen Crusher, okay? This is no Frozen Crusher. Kartut Defender. 6 mana, 3/4. Taunt, Reborn, Death Rattle. Restore 3 health to your hero. So you play a 3/4. It dies, you get 3 health. Then you get a 3/1 back. That has Taunt 2 and restores 3 health. I don't know. It still seems like it doesn't have enough attack, right? Like, it's not going to do enough. So I think it's below average. Probably not that much below average. I'm going to stick at 2.5. But, yeah. It's too expensive, too. What's wrong, Cookie? Okay. Oh, God. That's why Cookie was meowing. Did you hear that, guys? It's because she knew this monster was coming. Damn it. Cookie knew. All right. Wrapped Golem. This is a better version of Obsidian Destroyer. And Obsidian Destroyer was a very good card. 7 mana, 7/5, Reborn. At the end of your turn, summon a 1/1 Scarab with Taunt. It's hard to remove because it comes back as a 7/1. That's a lot of power too. It's just really good. It's between 4.5 and 5. I think it's probably not quite a 5, but it's very, 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 very good. Very good. Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked about that card yet, but the Pit Croc thing or whatever that does 5 damage battle cry. But the reason this card is so good is even if they have that to kill it, you still get a 7/1 back that spawns a 1/1. So it's just disgusting. Disgusting. Okay. Mogu Cultist. 1 mana, 1/1. Battlecry. If your board is full of Mogu Cultists, sacrifice them all and summon Highkeeper Raw. Yeah, okay. It's a 1. Like, it never happens. I would even go as far to say this will never, ever happen in Arena. How the hell would that ever happen? I don't see it. Nope. Never. Okay. Dwarven Archaeologist. 2 mana, 2/3. After you discover a card, reduce its cost by 1. 2 mana, 2/3. Most of the time, it's just a 2 mana, 2/3, which is fine. It's got a little bit of upside. That little bit of upside probably means it's like a 3.5. But, yeah. Most of the time, it will just be a fairly static 2-drop. Oh, boy. This is another card I just... I just don't like cards that have good stats on their own with big upside. So, History Buff. A 3 mana, 3/4. Whenever you play a minion, give a random minion in your hand +1/+1. So, Spider Tank stats, good. And it just has kind of free upside, I would say. I don't think it's quite a 5. Like, how many cards are you likely to play with this on the board? I think like 4.5 is totally fair, though. Like, it's it's strong, but I'm gonna go with 4.5. Yeah. Hopefully this one's bucketed correctly, Blizzard. Hopefully this one's bucketed correctly. Okay, all right. Mischief Maker. 3 mana, 3/3. Battlecry. Swap the top card of your deck with your opponent's. Eh, it's a 3-mana 3/3, which is below average, and it's pretty much a neutral effect, so it's below average. I would say it's like a 2 to 2.5, probably 2. 2 is fair. Okay. Volpera Scoundrel. 3-mana 2/3. Battlecry, discover a spell or pick a mystery choice. So for anyone who doesn't know how this card works, you'll get offered 3 discover options like normal when you discover. And then there will be like a card face down where you don't know anything about it. So the idea is if you really hate your 3 options, you can roll the dice. And you see the dice right here for good reason on the mystery choice. So it's really good because it's like Discover Plus. Because sometimes you will have a really brick on the Discover, and you're like, man, if I can just get anything that's useful, now you have that chance. So, yeah. It's Discover a spell. So, spells mean you won't be able to discover a spell from a class other than your own. Because there's no neutral spells, right? Because it follows the Discover rules. But it's very good because even just a 3-mana 2/3 discover is quite solid. So I would say this is like a 4. It honestly it could be even higher. It's like a 4 to 4.5. I would say. Discover is really strong, and a slower meta you'll get away with doing it. So yeah, we'll stick with 4, but it's very, very good. The mystery choice is random? Okay. So, add a random spell to your hand. I mean, according to this, it is. So, I guess the 3 that you discover follow the discover, and then this one could be anything. Good luck! Okay, yeah. It'll be fun to play with. Body Wrapper. 4-mana 4/4. Battlecry. Discover a friendly minion that died this game. Shuffle it into your deck. It's bad. It's really bad. 4-mana 4/4 is already on the weak side, and generally in Arena you'll have played like a 2 or 3 drop, and you don't really want to shuffle those in. So it's a 4-mana 4/4 with, if anything, a little bit of a downside, in my opinion. So it's not good. Like a 2? How about as a 4-mana 4/4? I would say it's worse than a 4-mana 4/4. You go with a 2. 2 to 2.5. 5 Desert Obelisk. 5-mana 0/5. If you control 3 of these at the end of your turn, deal 5 damage to a random enemy. I think if you manage to control 3 of these at the end of your turn Arena, you also just get like a grand from Blizzard. I don't know if they said that explicitly, but I feel like there's got to be some crazy prize if you're able to do it in Arena, right? It's awful. It's terrible. It's the lowest rating we have here, which is a 1. It's not going to happen. Ain't going to happen. All right. Mortuary Machine. 5-mana 8/8 with a mech tag. After your opponent plays a minion, give it Reborn. So obviously you look at a card like this and it kind of feels similar to like a Hydra or Fel Reaver, where it's this overstated 5-mana 8/8 with a downside. The problem is I think the downside on this one is way worse, because if your opponent plays a taunt, all of a sudden you have to kill the taunt and then the Reborn effect, so you're not even really able to push face with it. So I think the downside's way too bad on this card. Yeah, I mean, maybe if you're a really aggressive like Hunter deck and you just need something that's a threat, but I don't like it. I would say it's like 1.5 to 2. I think it's like 1.5. It's pretty bad. All right. Pog T in the chat. Guys, can we get some Pog T in the chat for this guy? So this is a really cool card. It might be the coolest card they've ever made. It's up there. Like and obviously the work that went into it is crazy too. So the way this works, it's a 2-mana 3/2 elemental tag. Zephyrs the Great, Battlecry. If your deck has no duplicates, wish for the perfect card. And so the way this works is it analyzes the situation and gives you 3 options that would be good in that situation. And so from everything we've heard, like if the opponent's at 6 health and you play this card, it's from basic and classic set. I should mention that. So it can be any card from the basic and classic set. So if you play this as a hunter, you could still get like a fireball. But anyhow, so if the opponent's at 6 health, you play this with 4 mana left, you should get that fireball to win the game. It remains to see just how good it is. Yeah, obviously you have to have a deck with no duplicates for it to go off, but it should be disgusting. Being able to find the perfect card in a situation is obviously good. So this card, I think it has to be a 5. The only reason you could say it's not a 5 is because you need to build the deck around it. But if you do build the deck around it, it's like a 6, right? Like it's whatever the highest rank you could give a card. I think that's what this card is. So yeah, and just similar to Kazakus, if you get offered this card early, you definitely go for it. Because we've had some of these where I'm like, I'm not so sure it's worth it. Even with like the arena, I was like, I don't know if it's really worth it. With this card, it's worth it. If you get offered this early, you just commit. Because it's that strong. All right. Siamat. 7 mana, 6/6 elemental, battlecry, gain 2 of Rush, Taunt, Divine Shield, or Wind Fury, your choice. Very strong. So, most of the time in Arena, you'll probably play it as a Rush, Divine Shield. That's just like probably going to be the best because it's just great removal in that form. So, how good is a 6/6 Divine Shield Rush? Really good. Like, really, really strong. It's like 4.5 to 5 range. I would probably say we'll go with 4.5, but it's definitely up there in that crazy powerful range. And you can also play it as like a taunt lifesteal if you really need some healing and need to survive a turn, and they don't have a board. So it's nuts. All right, Octosari. 8 mana, 8/8. Death Rattle, draw 8 cards. It's like such a high number of cards. It's kind of crazy to think about. So yeah, the thing about this card, playing an 8 mana 8/8 with no immediate board impact is gonna probably, like, if you're behind, this card is unlikely to bring you. If you're behind on the board, it's not gonna like save you, kind of thing. But if you're in a value matchup, then it could be disgusting. So and I think it will be kind of a value oriented meta. I would say it's somewhere in the like 3.5 to 4 range. I don't know if it's quite a 3.5 because the truth is, like, the 8 cards is just overkill. If it drew like 3, that's plenty, right? 3 or 4, it's kind of like the same effect. It doesn't get that much more for drawing 8. So I think like 3.5 is fair. Colossus of the Moon. Man, we get a lot of Ultra Sword-like cards in this expansion. Colossus of the Moon, a 10 mana 10/10 Divine Shield Reborn. So, meaning it will come back as a 10/1 with Divine Shield. Really hard to deal with, but the problem is it's just way too slow. Like, you have to wait till turn 10 to play it. So, I think it's probably below average, honestly. I'm going to go with like a 2.5. Waiting till turn 10 to play a card is pretty brutal. So, yeah. And it doesn't have taunt. Hi. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to the review. I know. Okay, I can't really see. Okay, hi. Hi, kitty. King Phaeorus. 10 mana 5/5. Battlecry. For each spell in your hand, summon a random minion of the same cost. For each spell in your hand, summon a random minion of the same cost. Pretty terrible, right? Like, the chances that you have to wait till turn 10 to play it, and then you need spells in your hand. So it's probably not a 1 just because there is the potential for upside, but it's bad. I'll go with a 1.5. Are you bored, kitty? You don't like the review? Huh? Doesn't interest you? All right. I see how it is. Beaming Sidekick. 1 mana, 1/2. Battlecry, give a friendly minion +2 health. So I've seen kind of differing opinions on this card. I don't like it that much. I talked about it a little bit the other day, but it's kind of reminds me a little bit of Barkskin, the card where you give 3 health to a minion. I believe it was 3 health, and it's just paying a whole card for that effect is kind of eh. Like, the reason Power Word Shield is so good is you get the health buff in a class where getting the health buff means you can heal your minions easier, and it cycles to another card in your deck. So, of course, it depends on the bucket that it's in, but I'm not a huge fan. Like, maybe, like, 3? 2.5? I'm going to say it's a little bit below average. I'm going to go with a 2.5. I feel like in the past, I've overrated cards like this, and I just don't think they're that good. All right. Spitting Camel. 2 mana, 2/4. At the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to another random friendly minion. I don't really like it. It's too hard to play in, like, the mid to late game, right? Like, you want to be able to just drop your 2/3 or whatever and not worry about it killing off one of your minions, so I don't like it. I'm going to go with, like, a... I don't think it's terrible, though. Let's go with, like, a 2. Right? It's not like 1.5, because it's still a little overstated. And if you don't have a 1-drop, you play it on 2, it's a 2 mana, 2/4. Right? Okay. Blatant Decoy. 6... Whoa, why is it moving on its own? Ghosts. 6 mana, 5/5. Death Rattle. Each player summons the lowest cost minion from their hand. Yeah, that's not good. Like, terrible. Like, awful. I would say it's like a 1 to 1.5. I'm going to go with a 1. I think this card's awful. Forget that, man. Awful. Awful. Alright, this is a good card. Pit Crocolisk. 8 mana, 5/6. Battlecry, deal 5 damage. Yeah, so this is one of the cards that you'll be seeing a ton of, right? There's no doubt about it. Because cards that impact the board immediately can also go face. Decent body, 5/6. Quite good. It's not... But it's not, like, on the power level of a Kraken. If you just compare the two cards, at least in my opinion, a Kraken develops a 9/7, which is a much stronger body. It does 1 less damage, but it's just better, in my opinion. So, it's worse than Kraken, but still quite good. I would say it's like a 4.5. But it's quite strong, but I would argue it's a little bit worse than, like, a Kraken. Yep. It's good, though. We have some people think it's better than Kraken. We'll see. We'll see. I think it's good. It does come down 1 turn earlier than Kraken, but I think the 5/6 body means it will be a little bit worse than Kraken. But, I mean, like, these are... When it comes to these cards, like, they're both great, right? And depending on where they bucket it, I could very likely see this being an auto pick. Just with what history has shown us with things like Scribe, Dig Day, Scorcher, these neutrals seem to be slightly underbucketed, either on purpose because they want us to play a lot with the new cards, or that's just for whatever reason it ends up that way. So I think we'll be seeing a ton of it. Okay. Golden Scarab. 3 mana, 2/2. Battlecry, discover a 4-cost card. So if you remember Jeweled Scarab was very good in certain classes because, like, for Paladin, there were insane 3-cost cards at that time, and also always there was Aldor, etc. I'm not too big on this one because I feel like playing a 3 mana 2/2 is really bad. Like, it's a bit too understated. Even though the meta will be slower, I'm not huge on this card. I would say it's like average, maybe a little below average. But I just don't think you can get away with playing a 3-mana 2/2. So we'll go with a 2.5. I really do. I don't know. I think compared to some of the other Discover cards, again, it depends on the class, right? Some classes have a lot better 4-cost cards than others. Like, it probably will be good to get a Paladin with Kings and Truesilver and stuff like that, but I'm not a huge fan. Okay, Desert Hare. 3 mana 1/1. Battlecry summon 2 1/1 Desert Hares. So 3 mana for 3 1/1s. I do have the Beast tag, but And maybe the idea is you evolve them because they're all 3 costs because they're Desert Hares, but it's pretty bad, right? Like, Microtech Controller is a better version of this. And that card's not insane. It's, like, fair. So it's below average. I would say, like, a 2. It's also going to a meta where there's Scorcher and stuff. Ugh. Ugh. All right. Whoa. Is that it? Are we done? Or did my thing bug out? Whoa. That's it. We did it, chat. High five. Boom. So what do we think? What do we think are, what are our predictions for classes, huh? A Scorcher an instant pick? I think it is. I think it really is. Why is this thing so scuffed now? Scrolling is, like, not working. Whatever this in-between image is here. Yeah, I think Scorcher is like an instant pick. I think Priest will be really disgusting. Because Priest has a lot of good cards coming back. And then they are getting some very strong cards in this, like, in the expansion too. So, yeah, I think Priest will be up there. Mage should be pretty good too, right? I mean, shocker, right? Like, Mage, Priest, and Rogue are probably going to be okay, but, I don't know. What was the average rating per card? I don't know exactly. But it was high. Like, compared to previous expansions, like this, there are way more top cards. Yeah. Warlock will also be good. Yeah, Warlock looks pretty nasty too. Yeah, Warlock might be up in that top area too. The cards that they got synergize very well with each other. And again, we'll have an offering bonus, so you'll be seeing a lot of them. Yeah. But, Warrior didn't even seem that bad, but I still don't think Warrior will be that good. Paladin traditionally gets... So, someone asked about Paladin. Paladin gets very good cards from Ungoro. So, Vinecleaver, Steed, like some of the best Paladin cards ever. So, Paladin should still be good. Hunter doesn't feel that good to me. Yeah. Did you do the AoE Shrinkmeister? Oh, did we do that one? I feel like we missed that one. Am I crazy? What happened to that card? Does anyone have a link to it? Is this thing broken? Is my link bad? Did we miss a bunch of neutrals? What else did we miss? That one I think we did miss. I think you guys are right. No, we didn't have 10 neutrals. We had way more than that. Maybe look at the official page? Okay, let me see. Does anyone have a link to the official page? I feel like we did most of them. Not that many stand out in my mind of us missing, but... Alright, let me see. Okay. Let's see. See if we missed any. It would only be the neutrals, right? I'm pretty sure we got through all of the other ones. So this one we did somehow miss, right? Yeah. Okay, so this card's insane. Somehow this one snuck under the radar, but yeah, we didn't talk about this one. Quicksand Elemental. 2 mana, 3/2, Battlecry, give all enemy minions -2 attack this turn. So kind of like that other 2-drop, the 2/3 that restores to full health. This one, it's easy to fit into your turn. And -2 attack means you'll probably get a bunch of free kills with it. It's also good stats on its own. So, yeah, this is another, like, bonkers level card, I would say. Like, 4.5. Definitely. Very, very, very strong. Yep. Okay, what else? Any other ones? Let me see. We can just look here real quick. We did all of those. Just go to the neutrals. Did them. Did them. Did all those. Did that. We did that. I think we did them all, right? None of these stand out to me. Fish Flinger we did. Yeah. Okay, so that's the one we missed that one somehow. But we good. We good. All right. Cool. Cool. Good. Thanks for hanging out for that, guys. I appreciate it. Let me just highlight this at the end of the review. All right. But yeah, it seems like Hunter is probably towards the lower end. Warrior, I don't think will be great. Although it looked kind of good today. So maybe I'm wrong about that one. Shaman, Shaman doesn't feel like it's going to be great, right? And Druid also. Like that one rush card from Druid's pretty good, but overall I would say it's kind of Yeah. All right.